Support the preservation of a vital cultural tradition. Vodou faces erasure and misrepresentation in today's world. Your support ensures Vodou's future and cultural integrity. Help preserve this vital culture today.
Honor and respect, honor and respect, honor and respect. Divine all blessed greetings and salutations. I am the Divine Prince, Voodoo Chief, the Divine Prince, Pan-African spiritualist, practitioner, and advisor. I am introducing another edition of Revolutionary Hoodoo, New Orleans Voodoo Secrets and Recipes. Voodoo Hoodoo 101. Powered, produced, promoted, sponsored, and supported by New Orleans International Vodou Day, NOIVD. The core mission of NOIVD exists to restore rightful dignity, authority, and global recognition to the Vodou and Voodoo family of traditions. It positions New Orleans as a cultural and spiritual crossroads where Africa, Haiti, and the diaspora meet in the mutual respect. The mission centers on three pillars: cultural preservation, safeguarding lineages, languages, rituals, and cosmologies from distortion, commercialization, and erasure; authentic representation, ensuring that the world encounters these traditions through legitimate priests, priestesses, practitioners, chiefs, and communities; global diplomacy, building bridges between Benin, Haiti, New Orleans, and the wider diaspora to strengthen the unity and shared purpose. This mission frames NOIVD not as a festival, but as a cultural embassy for voodoo worldwide. We continue to invite your support, participation, visitation, donations, promotion, and sponsorship of this powerful legacy and expanding international endeavor. Please continue to visit us for connection and more information on our symposium, Afroecology exhibit, Sacred Procession from the River, and Ritual Ceremony in Congo Square. We are also thankful for your continued support and participation on all social media platforms, and for those who participate and support this podcast live in chat and always in archive at your leisure and convenience. And do join us live on platform with your mic, camera, or photo by way of your QR code in the corner of your screen, upper left corner of your screen. Our NOIVD QR code is at the bottom right corner of your screen. And we do need Vodou, Voodoo, and Vodou today. What role do these traditions offer in Western society? We're going to continue the conversation. The mission of New Orleans International Voodoo Day in protecting the authenticity of these practices and these traditions. Thank you always to my co hosts and panelists for your continued support and participation. We will be unmuting momentarily. And again, thanks so much for your vocation and continued support and participation to this nightly podcast, weeknights, Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. We certainly are thankful for your continued support, presence, and participation. I will be unmuting Elder Reggie. We know here as Green Soap, leader and founder of Shrine of the White Cloth, a committed co-administrator of NOIVD, and my second priest and godchild, Tyson Allen Horn, also an initiated member of La Source Ancient Han4, also our executive producer of Respect the Voodoo, as well as a committed co-administrator of NOIVD. And certainly, again, we are thankful for your continued support and participation. The Queens will not be with us tonight, Sister Toni Val, nor Sister Bianca. We're still in prayer for Brother Joshua. His girlfriend was hit by a car on yesterday while walking the dog. And she was immediately carried to UMC Medical Center. The dog ran home, which is how Joshua, was the first alerted that anything was wrong. Then he got the call from the police that she was indeed at the hospital. She did have some bleeding on her brain, which has subsided, but they're still monitoring it. And I believe she has a few other fractures and or injuries. So we want to be in prayer, meditation, send energy and healing certainly to them both as we continue to move forward. In tonight's podcast, as we continue our ongoing conversation. So, welcome, family. Welcome to a space where the ancient breath meets the modern body, where the wisdom of our ancestors sits down beside us as naturally as a friend at the kitchen table. I'm honored to share this moment with you because today we're stepping into a conversation that is both timeless and urgently contemporary. What can the power of Voodoo, Vodou, and Voodoo do for us today? Not yesterday, not in the distant past, not in the stories told about us, but right now, in this world of noise, speed, confusion, and disconnection. Because the truth is this: Voodoo, Vodou, and Voodoo have never stopped working. People may forget, misunderstand, or misrepresent these traditions, but the spirits, the forces, the energies, the technologies, they have never stopped moving. And today we're going to talk about what that means for you, for your community, for the world we are all trying to survive and transform. These traditions reconnect us to what is real. We live in a time where everything is fast, synthetic, artificial, everything is digital, everything is curated. But Voodoo, Vodou, and Voodoo pull us back to the real, real ancestors, real land, real nature, real breath, responsibility, and relationship. These traditions remind us that spirituality is not an escape from life. It is a technology for living. When you light a candle, when you pour water, when you speak a name, when you honor a spirit, you are not performing superstition. You are engaging in a system designed to restore balance, clarity, and connection. In a world that constantly tries to fragment us, these traditions bring us back to ourselves. They teach us accountability, not fear. One of the greatest misunderstandings about these traditions is the idea that they are about fear, punishment, or control. But the heart of Voodoo, Vodou, and Voodoo is accountability. Not the kind that shames you, not the kind that breaks you, but the kind that says your actions matter, your choices echo, your character is your offering. In a world where people often feel powerless, these traditions remind us that we are not victims of fate. We are participants in creation. And that is a radical, empowering truth. They restore community in a world of isolation. Let's be honest, people today are lonely, disconnected, and searching for belonging. Voodoo, Vodou, and Voodoo are not solitary traditions. They are communal technologies. They teach us how to show up for one another, how to build together, how to heal together, create and celebrate together, mourn together, and protect one another. These traditions remind us that spirituality is not just personal, it is collective. It is about the health of the village, the neighborhood, the family, the lineage, the land. In a world that tells us to do it alone, these traditions say, no, we do it together. They give us tools for healing that Western systems cannot touch. Let's talk about healing. real healing, not just symptom management, not just coping, not just surviving. Vodun, Vodou, and Voodoo offer healing that is emotional, spiritual, ancestral, communal, energetic, and practical. These traditions understand that a person is not just a body. A person is a network of memories, spirits, relationships, histories, and possibilities. And when we heal through these traditions, we are not just healing ourselves, we are healing the stories we inherited and the stories we will pass on. In a world carrying so much trauma, personal, historical, and ongoing trauma, this kind of healing is not optional, it is necessary. These traditions remind us that the unseen world is not separate from the seen world. Modern society teaches us to divide everything: science versus spirit, logic versus intuition, physical versus metaphysical, ancestors versus the living. But Vodun, Vodou, Voodoo, Ifa, Santeria, Lukumi, Kandable, root work, conjure, hoodoo teach us that there is no separation, only relationship. The unseen world is not out there somewhere in the abstract. It is woven into the fabric of our everyday lives. And when we honor the spirits, we are not stepping away from reality. We are stepping into a fuller version of it. And that awareness changes how we move, how we speak, how we make decisions, how we treat one another. It brings reverence back into every day. So the systems, the practices teach us balance in a world addicted to extremes. These traditions are built on balance: hot and cool, male and female, visible and invisible, individual and community, freedom and responsibility. In a world that constantly pushes us towards extremes, extreme opinions, extreme emotions, extreme consumption, Vodun, Vodou, and Voodoo bring us back to center. They teach us that power without balance is destruction, but power with balance is transformation. These systems, these practices, and traditions give us a way to live with purpose. Purpose is not something you find, purpose is something you align with. These traditions help us understand who we are, where we come from, what we carry, what we are called to do, and how we are meant to serve. Purpose is not a career. Purpose is a relationship with your destiny, a relationship with your ancestors, a relationship with your community, and a relationship with your character. And in a world where so many people feel lost, these traditions offer a compass. So, in my closing, as I invite my beloved co host to come in to the conversation, I ask, what can the power of Voodoo, Vodou, Akan practice, Ifa tradition, Fon airway practice, Voodoo, Hoodoo, conjure, ATR do for us today? It can reconnect us, it can ground us, it can heal us, it can guide us, it can strengthen us, and it can remind us that we are not alone, not forgotten, not powerless, not disconnected from the sacred. These traditions are not relics, they are not curiosities, they are not stereotypes, they are living technologies, ancient, sophisticated, and profoundly relevant. And as long as there are people willing to listen, willing to learn, willing to honor, and willing to walk with integrity, these traditions will continue to shape the world we are building. Stay with me. We are just getting started in this evening's conversation. So please, beloved Elder Reggie, Green Soap, we certainly appreciate your time and attention. Brother Tyson Horn, we certainly appreciate your time and attention. What say you this evening?
Good evening.
Yes, good
Check.
evening. Good evening, everyone.
Brother Elder Reggie, checking my microphone and making sure I'm on a different platform right now. So can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you good.
All right, good.
Can I be heard?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yep. I'd like to, please, if I could, in reference to the topic, go ahead. Brother Tyson, can you hear me if I'm stepping over you?
No. You got the mic.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Divine Prince, excellent show, a continuation of something that's very important to the community. And I give respect to the collective audience that's listening on whatever platform. We appreciate you taking your time to be with us tonight. But what I want to do, and I want to honor Voodoo, Vodun, and Voodoo, is something that I realize is something that is happening, and these methodologies can help us fight. And what I want to deal with is something called soul swapping. About 2 months ago, there was a on Instagram, there was a viral video that went out. Some people came down to New Orleans. They was walking in the French quarters, and there was a male in the French Quarter trying to tap people elbows. And according to the video, it was dealing with what we call soul swapping. What is soul swapping? People experience a soul swap may notice drastic personality changes, sudden shift in behavior, interests, or lifestyle, memory gaps or confusion, difficult recalling past experience as the new soul integrates, physical symptoms, headaches, fatigue, and a sense of heaviness during transition, heightened spiritual awareness, a sudden sense of purpose or interest in metaphysical topics. So if someone are experiencing things of this nature, and when you come to the ATRs, as I use that as a placeholder for all three, is that we have ways of tapping into your soul to see if there's things that's adrift and try to help you get back in alignment. So voodoo, voodoo, and voodoo are very, very active today. They are very real, and they are very good methodologies that one can employ. Brother Tyson?
And they certainly transcend beyond just, the spiritual, the ethereal, the religious, the ethno-cultural. And for those, practical, logical listeners out there, certainly reconnecting with earth and reconnecting with nature is something that we have gotten away from wholesale in the West. Kids often have never visited a farm, have no idea where their food really comes from, or indeed what is really in their food, if it's food at all. And so these traditions also connect us to nature. As I was taught, and I continue to repeat it, there is no voodoo without nature. There is no Ifa, Santeria, Lukumi, Nago tradition, Isheshe tradition. There is no ATR tradition that does not reconnect, and involve nature and the application of nature. So we also discuss, diet, what we eat, how we live, how we treat our physical bodies as well as our spiritual bodies. Both Elder Reggie and I have preference in recent podcasts about taboos and proverbs that often fall in the Odu, the parables to the signs that fall on the divination board. And often these taboos involve what we should not eat, foods that we should avoid for a particular time period, or for a lifetime, depending on our particular individual, path and walk. So we not only want to reconnect with spirit and practice and tradition and with our ancestors, but we should also begin to sort of rethink how we live, how we address nature, how we address each other, how we
Mhm.
address the world. And so it ultimately affects and manifests within us, and then certainly around us, within our family, our environments, our peer groups, our community, and has global implications. So
Mhm.
our platform for international voodoo, and Vodun recognition cannot be overstated in not just the promotion of a powerful, growing international event, a legacy event, but in terms of addressing right now in real practical terms how we confront many of the challenges that we face globally, worldwide. And I'm not going to digress too much, but for
Mhm.
clarity, I'm sort of also in a side Zoom meeting right now. I kind of got them on mute. Some
Mhm.
of you know I'm a part of another sort of international organization associated with ballroom,
Mhm.
and we have a large international membership. So there are people right now in the Zoom from China, Thailand, Russia, the UK, certainly Africa, and the US. And, we spend an hour just catching up, just doing a wellness check, for political strife, physical strife, people with family members who are sick or challenged or going through some stage of recovery, people who are in transition in terms of their housing, uh,
Mhm.
their economy. So all of these things fit into the capsule of information on which an ODU is qualified and able to speak to in any given divination.
Mhm.
My clientele are often surprised that when they come to me with a question about relationship or a question about, their career, that we end up talking sometimes 2 or 3 hours and me addressing every house in their chart. When we look at the
Mhm.
sun chart, we say we get 12, houses. And then when you consider the lunar calendar, there are a degree more houses that we can examine in these consultations. And spirit is often speaking to the fulfillment of our destiny, not just the remedial fixing, of immediate problem or a specific want, need, request that we might have, but the alignment and realignment with balance with our destiny. We create and recreate predetermined destiny, certainly from our own heads, with the great creators and with
Mhm.
our ancestors. But we also, as sort of gods operating in a physical animal body, also still have the ability to create and recreate a reality that best mirrors our image, but not just culturally, spiritually, ritualistically, in some cases, aesthetically. It's more than what it looked like, in a Facebook post. It's more
Mhm.
than what it looked like, in a TikTok, post. It's an everyday lifestyle. We wake up to voodoo, we
Mhm.
go to bed to voodoo. Often the very first, communications I have in the morning is with Elder Reggie and Brother Tyson
Mhm.
and other members of our
Mm-hmm.
community. Mambo,
Mm-hmm.
Sally, and Glassman,
Mm-hmm.
real early in the morning. And then often late at night, some of the
Mhm.
very last communications I have are with these very same people. And it's probably like much of the religious or philosophical or um, fraternity,
Mhm.
sorority, world. You have a percentage. Some people say the 5% that is committed, dedicated, volunteers, put forward effort, organizers, does the grassroots level work.
Mhm.
But then you have a much larger body that just show up on Sunday or just show up, at the events or just show up, to
Mhm.
see us perform when we're really sharing our lifestyle, our lives, how we operate each and every given day. So certainly, not only do we need voodoo, I teach that voodoo is our salvation at every level, at every house, economically, physically, mentally, emotionally, socially, politically. There are aspects, dynamics to voodoo that transform and reshape society. And we must send Kofa. We must go back and pick up something of great value that we may have set aside.
Yeah. In listening to you talk to brother Ty, I agree with everything you're saying there. I think, I always try to lend a perspective of personal understanding to a lot of these conversations. And I think one of the things that you helped me to see in my own introduction to the life of in lifestyle of voodoo is the understanding of my own ori. Um, and to take a page from Elder Reggie, I'll read something that, it says in the Yoruba spirituality, ori, literal head, meaning, is a profound concept representing one's spiritual essence, destiny, inner consciousness, and the personal guiding force, acting as an individual's personal divinity and direct link to the supreme creator, determining life's path, success, and purpose. It is seen as a divine spark within, guiding choices and embodying one's unique fate, requiring nurturing through prayer and through ritual for alignment, as a state known as having a good head. Um, that is something that, in listening to the conversations that you both just spoke upon, even from the soul swapping and the need for, this spiritual practice to be relevant today amid all the things going on in the world. It's like when you connect with your own head and when you connect with your own inner personal ori, that if that's the start of your day, then that might determine how you interact with other people as you're out in the community, as you're out in the world. And it's like, and if everyone would be focused on their own personal connection to the creator and connection to nature and to connection to just living a good life, then it's like a domino effect. It's like each one teach one type thing. And it's like, it's like those sayings where, you might smile at someone and that smile could help and brighten their day. Whereas if you frown at someone, even unknowingly, now you've set someone else's day on a certain path. And so just connecting with my RE every day, then texting you, and then text the Elder Reggie, and we all keep each other, kind of, just be kind of encourage each other every day to keep going. But I think that's one of the things that's really reason why we need the practice into practice, because we have to have something that's going to help negate the amount of negativity that we see. And the one thing that I really understand even more is there used to always be wars and always be racism and always be some type of strife and things going around, injustices. But nowadays, um, we seeing them in real time. We seeing them as it happens. We're seeing more, the same amount of fights was happening before the internet and before social media, but now we're just all seeing them in real time in our timelines. And so if you don't have some way to negate that or to stay positive or to stay focused on something spiritual, something natural, something good, it'll inundate you with just negativity. I used to work in the media and I would see so many videos of shootings, of police cam videos, surveillance videos, you know, um, all the things that the regular public didn't get a chance to see because it might be too gruesome or too gory for the masses. And ever since I stopped working in the media, there's been a level of peace that I've gotten back because when you always taking that stuff in, sometimes you do need to unplug and go into the forest, go into the a park, go sit next to a tree, go sit next to a stream, sit outside, let the sun hit you, listen to the birds sometimes. You know, you have to connect with nature in order to decompress from all the things that we experience. And the practices of voodoo and vodun, these practices, like you said, they are they they're nothing without nature. Everything is encompassing in nature. Every time we pour libations, we are connecting with nature and using the elements. Elder Reggie, you can speak on that too, like just how we need to just
Mhm.
keep the incorporation of the
Oh yeah.
elements about us.
Yes, Brother Tab, I could tie into that right quick, Brother Tab from Divine Prince. Yeah, that's one of the bases that I teach, which comes out of the cosmogram from the Congo, and that is earth, fire, water, and air. From those four dimensions, which is coming through the crossroad of a shoe, is bringing forth the soul or the essence of what sustains us as human beings. So if we understanding where people are coming from these dimensions, then we can narrow down how to help them when they may be a little
Elder Reggie, we can't hear you.
because the element is a little bit off. When I pick that up from a reading as Divine Prince speak of, then we narrow it in. We may use spiritual baths. We may use a talking session. We may use a variety of things, not necessarily wrote down in a book or on a video, because sometimes the enlightened through spirit give it to you on the spot to help that individual. And it's only through the ATRs I'm seeing these methods. Church, I believe in Islam, all of them. But the way the ATR is bringing these methodologies to try to help you heal from your Ori, which are to your Kra, which is your soul, is just a different way of attacking it. And what we're saying, and also with the International New Orleans Voodoo Day, come out, come and see what we're doing. We're not just doing elegant words over the internet. We are real practitioners who stay in touch with each other, sharpening our skills so we can help our general community. And what's driving us to do that is, at the end of the day, we love you. We love humanity. We love people. And this is why we continue to dive deeper into the ATRs. And they are here, and they're a tool that we can use. And that's what I had. Divine Prince, you like to add some more to that?
And we absolutely are actively operating in these practices every
Mm.
single day. This certainly is my vocation. I'm sure Elder Reggie would
Yes.
say the same. So we invite you not to wait until just
Mm-hmm.
the annual International Vodou Day, but connect with us, communicate with us, join us in some of our events and
Mm-hmm.
ceremonies, weekly ceremony at the Little Source. And we certainly invite you to come out and join us, participate, learn with us. We certainly do appreciate newcomers and the opportunity to
Yeah.
educate and re-educate. We're certainly grateful for those of you who continue to support this 9 p.m. Central Standard Time podcast Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time on a platform near you or by way of our StreamYard QR code found in the upper left corner of your screen. The QR code in the bottom right corner of your screen, for those of you viewing through YouTube and other sites where you might have a slightly wider screen, is the direct QR code to our website at www.vodouday.org. We continue to invite your support, participation, volunteership, donations, GoFundMe support, sponsorship by visiting us at www.vodouday.org, www.vodouday.org. We're eternally thankful for your participation by way of our various Facebook pages, groups, profiles. We're certainly appreciative of our local, national, and international listenership by way of LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter X, and certainly and always we're appreciative of those who join us by way of Instagram. Capricorn Net, we certainly appreciate you. Black Sacrifice, thank you for coming through. Siren the Shaman Magic, we certainly appreciate your coming through. Mona Lisa the Muse, we certainly appreciate you. Dependable Angel Services, greetings and salutations to you and yours, beloved.
We certainly appreciate
You in Utah now, okay? Originally from Port Arthur, Texas. Okay. Tarlet 38, we certainly do appreciate you. Stay Ahead 70, greetings and salutations to you and yours. Tim Godbody, we certainly do appreciate you. Mardi Gras Engine Illuminati, thank you for coming through. Artful Writing joined us. Greetings and salutations. Brooks Vision 7 joined us. We certainly appreciate you. And Lord Piper, we certainly appreciate you. And again, we invite your continued support and participation. Please do click the like, the share, the follow button at the bottom of your perspective screen on whatever social media platform you are with. Reshare the post for tomorrow. And do join us at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time tomorrow night, Friday, but Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time on a platform near you or by way of our StreamYard QR code. We certainly thank you for your support and participation. I will now turn the mic back over to Elder Reggie for closing remarks and to share our announcements.
Thank you, Divine Prince. GoFundMe, please. We have a GoFundMe. NOIVD, New Orleans International GoFundMe. Look at the link below, please. Help support. Our new moon ritual prayer and application ceremony will occur on Wednesday, March 18th in Pisces at 6:30 p.m. The location is 710 Clewitt Street in New Orleans. What we do is a ritual spiritual warfare gathering and application ceremony. Please come out and support that event. Thank you. Before I read Lest We Forget, and with permission from Divine Prince, Brother Tyson, and the collective audience, it's something I do when I do my prayers in the morning. Can we all take maybe 10 seconds just to reflect on yourself, your friends, your family, with all going on in the world right now? Could we just take a 10-minute second solitude and just be easy on ourselves and send collective prayers to friends, family, and loved ones? 10 seconds, please. Thank you. I appreciate that. Lest we forget, the spiritual medicine of voodoo brings healing and relief from the shackles of slavery that binds the master and the slave to the same chain of social division. We continue to have work to do. With that, I say, Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Good night, everyone. We love you all, and we'll be back tomorrow night.
Good night, y'all.
Good night, in Odabo.
Support the preservation of a vital cultural tradition. Vodou faces erasure and misrepresentation in today's world. Your support ensures Vodou's future and cultural integrity. Help preserve this vital culture today. Support the preservation of a vital cultural tradition. Vodou faces erasure and misrepresentation in today's world. Your support ensures Vodou's future and cultural integrity. Help preserve this vital culture today.
At the beginning of this, maybe I was more skeptical. As the days have gone on, I'm not sure what I think anymore.
I felt that maybe it wouldn't affect me if I personally didn't believe in it.
So, knowing what you know now, would you still get cursed?
I'm seeking out a curse, a hex to put on myself.
A curse could end your life. You're literally begging the devil to knock on your door just to prove to you that God's real.
He could curse you with stupidity, but we think you got that down.
Despite the warnings, I'm investigating the real-world effects of dark magic.
Looks like you have a lot of love and a lot of opportunity. You are going to cause damage to that.
How do you feel after doing this?
Evil.
That must be quite seductive.
That's the power you're calling on. The devil, right? Quite seductive.
I'm going to enter into a pact with Satan.
Señor Satán, Lucifer, presentamos a este hermano. Con tu fuego purifica.
Wyong is pretty much the epicenter of all black magic. People are very scared to even talk about it.
Y'all better not call me at 2 o'clock in the morning talking about this man is dead. I don't want to hear that.
I have this physical feeling that something bad is coming. What have I done?
You're going to have to find faith in this in order to undo it.